you look a lot at this market, I would imagine, and self-provisioning. Can you give us some best-in-class examples of people you maybe inspire you, and when you're kind of creating self-provisioning models, you think would be models?
Well, I think there's a bunch of them, of us, if you will, that sit inside the Gmail space. How many Gmail users for their regular email day-to-day Gmail? Well, I got kind of both. Okay, so a lot. So if you look inside Gmail, you've got Gist for Gmail. You got Reportive, which is another one. Task Force is a great app which just came out of Y Combinator not too long ago. All very good apps which essentially are add-ons into the Gmail experience and make it more productive, more useful for anybody who's kind of a productivity geek like me. I too am a huge Evernote fan, and I think it's executed just so well in many different respects. And is one of those apps which is freemium, so start free and pay only when you need that sort of stuff. And if you want to move up and down on different tiers, very, very useful. I'm a big user of a product called Text Expander. So Text Expander allows you to sort of automate the insertion of text blocks. I'm a huge user of a product called Tungle. So everybody go through the problem of, hey, let's schedule a meeting. When are you available? When am I available? Let's go back and forth with 17 emails trying to figure out when we're available. Wouldn't it be more useful if you could just send you my calendar and show you all my free busy and let you schedule a meeting right with me? That's a service called Tungle out of Canada, which is a great product. Yeah. And I use a blend of, when someone sends me a, hey, I'd like to meet with you, I have a text expansion which says, here's all my free busy, please schedule here, here's a copy of my assistant. And then it kicks off the whole Tungle.
I looked at your Tungle and trying to do the pre-call, and you're very busy. So I found a slot, though.
I'm busy. And imagine, I mean, the back and forth of, because I'm busy and you're looking for a time, but in that case, it was one email. You could see what I wanted. You could immediately book it, and no one else had to send any more emails. So it's a fabulous application, and you know, I'm a very big fan.
Well, you know, I think the audience is going to hear me ask this question of multiple panelists, but since we have smart people today, in your space, where are there opportunities as an entrepreneur? Where do you identify opportunities?
Well, my space is it's mobile, social, and cloud. That's a pretty broad space. I would say it's sort of unrelated to Gist, but I think how do people decide on what set of cloud services they want to use at an infrastructure level? So if you imagine Heroku plus AWS, and if you're sitting there thinking, I want to work on a hosted platform, as it were, to build my stuff, trying to compare and contrast those, both from a functional perspective and a reliability perspective and a cost perspective, I think is pretty interesting, and there's going to be many more of them. You know, is it Azure here or AWS there? So I think that's pretty interesting. Obviously, the space that we work in sort of discovery, aggregation of rich profiles is a place that I'm going to be continuing to spend a lot of time on. And as it relates to location, so I was flying down here last night, and wouldn't it be cool if you could just say, show me all the people whose contact information shows them living around where I am right now, and let me send a message to them telling them I'd like to have a drink of beer or have dinner. Wouldn't it be better if I knew who was actually around me right now? If you blend sort of location with Gist with Foursquare, and that kind of location plus context aware plus my contact list, I think is really interesting. And you'll see some of that come from us, but you know, it's a very broad space as it relates to location, either static, where's your office, where's your home, and dynamic, where are you now? And then you blend in TripIt, which is, and where, or stumble upon, or not stumble upon, but upcoming, where are you going? So if I know that, then I know, oh, Samir's going to be here. I should have called Samir and had dinner with him last night or had breakfast this morning. That type of thing, which is a blend of contacts plus importance plus location, either static, forthcoming, future.
Great. I do want to make some of my panels, or all my panels, a little bit interactive. So I want to take a question from the audience. And anyone have a question? Sir?
We've talked a lot in the industry about the consumerization of IT, you know, and the sort of democratization of decision-making. But it also seems like we've seen this before when, you know, IT had such tight control over the mainframe and mini computer, and the insurgency was the PC. And over time, if that had to be tied into, you know, the corporate infrastructure, IT gradually took control. Do you see that happening? with mobile devices?
Well, I would say it's happening, and it's interesting for me, having come from, in January I was a small company, and now I'm part of a bigger company. Gist is a fully Mac-based shop, of which now we're part of RIM, where it's a relatively, maybe about 10, 20% Macs or something, relatively small. They have all kinds of internal systems which are focused and only work with IE. So we're going through a little bit of this problem right now of like, I want to go book vacation, but I can't because I have to spin up an IE browser on a VM just so I can book vacation, which is really fun. But I think that there's the Mac PC issue, there's the browser issue, which I'm primarily a Chrome, then Firefox, then IE kind of user. So I think we're starting to, maybe we're at that edge of the curve where you've got the PC laptop sort of problem. Obviously, the tablet problem is next, and then the mobile device problem of I got 3 different mobile devices, or I've got 3 mobile devices, which I do. And I might have 4 soon. So I think it's just a problem of device management and data management, and I think it's going to get a lot more messy before it starts to clean up. I mean, unfortunately, fortunately for somebody who's going to figure out device management types of things and or data management, that's a pretty significant opportunity. It's a very messy opportunity, but it's probably pretty significant because the fact is it's going to happen or has happened, as evidenced by the number of iPads which are sitting in here, or tablets, or playbooks, or Zooms, or whatever.
Question?
So how many users of GIST are there today? And do you find that by using it, they're using social networks less, or they're visiting social networks less as a result of having these feeds?
Real quickly, so the question was, how many people are using GIST, and because of that, are they using certain social networks less?
Yes, I won't talk exactly about the number of users in GIST per se, but the use, hundreds of thousands. And in the hundreds of thousands, I can say about myself, and sort of anecdotally, using social content more, visiting sites less. So I consume my tweet stream primarily through GIST because it's only showing the tweets for people who are important to me. Or I consume my Facebook stream through GIST because it's only showing me those posts for people who are important to me. So I visit Twitter or TweetDeck or whatever your Twitter client is less. I visit Facebook a lot less. But I probably consume Facebook content more because it's immediately made relevant to me when I'm responding on email to you or on my mobile device.
Well, I think that's all the time we have. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to give a big round of applause for TA and today. And thanks, Ray. Appreciate it. Good job.